Okay, it is now time for Skip and Ernestine go to the movies. Hazel goes with us because we go to the movies while we're on the couch for the most part. We don't go to the theater very often.
Much.
No, not much.
I want to see
anymore.
that Jason Statham.
Do you?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, love him.
I forget what it's called, but it's another one of those beekeeper type
Oh
movies.
my God.
Yeah.
The Working Man? No.
I think it is.
Working Man
that's
or
right.
something like that.
She loves him.
I
And why does
love
she
him.
love him? Because he's hot.
Oh, he's so...
He's hot.
You love him too.
He's getting a little long in the tooth.
Like, you got a man crush on him.
I don't, actually, on him. I don't.
Really?
But I just like his style. I like his presence.
We've always loved him from way back.
He's just a good badass.
He's great.
He is.
He's right up there with Keanu Reeves.
As a badass.
And Keanu Reeves right up there with John Wick.
As John Wick, yeah.
But Jason is great. Anyway.
Okay, this week we are going to review the Reacher finale, the first 2 episodes of The Studio on Apple Plus, and the new Travolta movie called High Rollers, or maybe we should call it Low Rollers, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with Reacher, the finale. You go first.
He's just larger than life.
Literally larger than life.
I mean, he's so big, but he's not really that big because when I looked up his height, he's what,
6'3".
6'3", but he really comes off bigger. But
I don't know if he uses steroids, but it sure looks like it because he doesn't look human.
He's got, he's human. He's almost like the Hulk, right? Huge. But anyway.
But he ends up fighting a guy who's much bigger than he is.
How tall is he? 7'2"? I think he was 7'2".
7'2", and he's a bodybuilder, a 7'2" bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And they engage in the longest fight in the history of cinematic fights.
If anybody ever watched Talladega Nights, when they cut and they're watching, and then the commercial, the cars are flipping, and then they go to...
The 2 cars are flipping.
Yeah, and they cut
and
to
they
a
go
commercial.
to commercial, and they come back, and they're still
flipping. That's what this was like. This was like I could have gone inside, made my meal, come back, and they were still in the middle of fighting.
Yeah.
And nobody is getting hurt, which I kind of like because I don't like people getting hurt.
I know, but they're just
cartoony.
Bashing each other in the face with objects.
Yeah, with heavy machinery. and he just gets up, and his T-shirt's not even dirty.
Yeah.
It's not even ripped.
Reacher got beat up in the face.
A little bit, but he was up. He just sprung back.
Fall off a cliff into the ocean and go to the bottom of the ocean fighting. And then you think Reacher somehow hit him in the throat with some karate move or something.
I don't know how that happened under the water.
Then he falls to the bottom of the ocean dead, you think. The bad guy does. And then Reacher's walking back to the house on a lonesome road, and he looks behind him, and here comes the 7'2" guy.
It was like, oh, God.
He is undeniable, unkillable, right?
But it was good. I would have to say
Reacher ends up having to trick him, I won't give it away, to beat him.
Yeah.
I still don't understand
and
exactly
Anthony Michael Hall is in it, who was really good. I love him from
who was
all
a
those
child actor who made a lot of money.
Right, but he was in all the John Hughes movies.
He was, right?
Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles.
Right.
He's a great actor.
And was on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live.
Right?
Yeah.
And he did a good job as a kind of a bad guy.
He was good. I don't want to say people are still watching maybe.
Okay,
but
so
it's really good.
Reacher to me has become campy.
It is.
Like campy fun.
Yeah.
Because he's so serious. And
he's almost like an android.
Right. He's like an android. But he always has a love interest, except there's no way he's ever going to fall in love or stay.
He's a loner. He's got to keep going.
He's the Lone Ranger. He's going to move on to the next town and the next crisis, the next fire to put out.
Like High Plains Drifter,
Clint Eastwood. But the woman who played his she's a cop and a love interest.
She's pretty.
Was really good.
Yeah.
She was pretty. She was like you kept saying Ally McGraw. That's probably before your time.
No, and the other one that was married to Jason's, Angie Harmon. She looked like Angie Harmon.
Yeah, like that.
Beautiful.
And she was pretty and she was sexy.
Yeah.
And she was believable as a love interest, although she was about a third of Reacher's size.
Well,
but
it's hard to find anybody who would be up to him. I mean, maybe some of those female basketball players
make love a couple of times.
Yeah,
they didn't show that,
no.
but you knew they were.
Yeah,
and it was kind of hard to imagine how could she take him. Like he's so gigantic. Wouldn't he just crush her body? But
he's not that big in real life because those basketball players are bigger than him.
Yeah, but he
just looks so big. That's why I find it hard to believe he's only 6'3". But anyway, back to the show. I think it was great. It was entertaining.
It was really good. This whole season was very entertaining. I bought it from start to finish. The lines are campy.
Yeah.
They're kind of laughably great bad.
Yeah.
But but they're great.
They're really good. I would watch. I mean, if people haven't watched it, they would watch. They should.
Great tension in the finale, where it kept me on the edge of my chair all the way home. And then it was a really touching scene when it was time for them to part. And she actually gave the parting speech to him that he always gives to the woman.
Yeah, she preempted him. Yeah. So that was good. I think people should watch it.
Took the starch out of his argument.
Wind out of his sails.
Yeah, okay.
I say,
like your cliche.
Thank you. I say give it a whirl.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, man,
I would give it, I'd give it an A.
Yeah, I'd give it an A too.
All right.
Hazel too.
So a pleasant surprise for us. I had read about it, but we kind of stumbled upon it the other night, and we tried it on Apple Plus, called The Studio, with Seth Rogen and lots of cameos from lots of well-known actors. Catherine O'Hara, Bryan Cranston, and even Marty Scorsese plays himself in this. Steve Buscemi plays himself in this.
Yeah.
And it's
the best show, I think.
Delightfully riveting. It's just, if you care about movies and how they're made, it is so real. It is so behind the scenes, and yet it is so funny behind the scenes.
Oh my God.
It's so well written. Seth Rogen is perfect as this sort of Mr. Magoo character who's just kind of wide-eyed, but he loves movies to a fault, and he wants to be out on set. He's the head of the studio, and they don't want him on set because he just gets in the way of the creative process.
But he loves it.
But he wants to make movies that matter, and obviously the owner of the studio, Bryan Cranston, wants movies that only make money. That's all he cares about, which is classic Hollywood.
Very real. But it's so funny.
It's so well done that it is.
You don't want it to
nonstop.
End.
It is, and in comedy, this is what I always say about Anchorman or Caddyshack.
Right.
They're both 95%ers where they're hitting on 95% of their jokes or their skits or whatever they're doing. Where I think that's funny and that's funny and that's funny all the way home.
Yeah.
And in this, they don't miss.
No, it's nonstop.
It's constantly funny, and
Charlize Theron is in it.
She played herself.
Yeah, but she's in it. It's
briefly.
It's endless, funny. Where after the second episode, I wanted more, and there was no more.
There's only 2 episodes.
Yeah, they only dropped the 2.
Stumbled into it, and then we didn't want it to end.
No.
So we highly recommend it.
A++++.
I'm going A+, just with one plus, because everybody who's in it is great, and the Scorsese scene is all-time classic and worth the price of admission if you don't have Apple Plus, because he does play himself, and he does get bamboozled by Seth Rogen, and it's
just, you have to watch
it. It is really classic.
Yeah.
Okay, and finally, we stumbled upon this on a night when I was exhausted and we just had a little time to watch.
Yeah.
We usually resort to Jeopardy at this point, but we said, there's this new Travolta movie. We both love Travolta, but we go clear back to Saturday Night Fever. We go back to Welcome Back Kotter.
Yeah, Welcome Back. Everything he's ever been in.
He's just good.
So good.
You know what?
I think he's underrated.
He's a movie star.
He is. He's a real movie star.
And once upon a time, he could really dance.
I think he still can dance.
Dance his ass off. Well, he does that Santa Claus commercial.
He does that commercial.
For Capital One, I think. And he still
has it.
Stuff,
and he looks great at 71. I'm sorry. He looks amazing.
Well, he's a little heavy, but
not that
he doesn't show off his body anymore. But but still,
so what? He still looks incredible.
God, he looks incredible.
He
looks scary young.
He still
looks has presence and sort of that Travolta cachet.
Yeah.
And sarcasm. And okay, so I'm pretty sure they pitched this movie, which probably was made in about 3 days, but I'm pretty sure they pitched it as Ocean's 11 meets Fast and the Furious, because that's kind of how it was. And they're going to rob a casino. They're robbing.
What's it called? High Rollers.
High Rollers. Yeah. Okay. So Travolta runs this gang of high-tech thieves.
Yeah.
And it's like Fast and the Furious, and Quavo plays the sort of, if you will, he's kind of the token black guy. He's the ludicrous guy in it. And there's an Hispanic guy who I don't really know. Yeah. And then there's this woman, and and then she's.
The story is just
speaking
off
of
the
ludicrous.
rails.
It's ludicrous.
I couldn't figure it out.
It is complete and utter silliness. It's almost like they wrote dialogue that was so bad they're all laughing as they're writing it because
so confusing.
It's so bad, it's good. It's watchable.
No,
because we kept looking at each other like, what?
I was so confused. I just went along with whatever they're saying. I didn't have to figure it out.
They're all actually very good. Mm-hmm. And Quavo was really good.
Yeah, he was good.
He took over his role. It's that he's got to be the ludicrous guy.
Right. But Travolta was so great.
Yeah, and he carries it because he's in just about every scene.
He's got stature and magnetism. He does. He's a movie star.
Okay, but here's the other thing that she noticed right away and then I picked up on. Every woman in this is we were just talking about Botox and filler and plastic surgery. None of the women
they don't look real.
They look like
AI.
Yeah, like they're AI generated.
They don't have a line on their face,
and they're all 30-something women.
And their boobs are gigantic.
Yeah.
And
their
they just
lips
look like
their lips are those kind of lips.
The one can't even speak because her lips are so big.
Yeah, the woman on the team.
Yeah. Her lip was so big. I mean, it was just...
Her lips were so big she couldn't speak.
No, it was hard for her to speak.
Plumped up with filler, right?
Yeah, it was just, oh my God.
But just to watch these women try to move around, you're like, they're not real. What did they do to themselves?
I guess maybe that was...
But they belong in the casino because that's the sort of the casino
one had the
style.
low-cut dress on with her boobs up, so that was, I guess, for guys.
The unraveling of the plot at the end is so convoluted.
And Gina Gershon's in it.
Gina Gershon, who used to be hot.
She still looks good. I think she looks good.
Got some stuff going on.
Yeah,
plastic surgery.
She's still good. She still looks like herself.
She kind of does.
I loved her from way back when.
She didn't have that big a role because she gets kidnapped and then she's gone for a long time. But we were laughing because she's kidnapped. So the guy who's kidnapped her wants Travolta to pull off this heist to get his wife back. And Travolta seems very uninterested in whether he really gets his wife back. He's like, la-di-da. Okay, well, let's see if we can do this.
He's in the casino. He forgot even.
I
have a wife that's somewhere. She's kidnapped.
Okay, but every once in a while, there's such a thing as a great bad movie, and it
sucks you in.
I'll go good bad because it does suck you in, but the denouement is so ridiculous at the end. I don't even know what happened.
I don't know how. I have no idea how it played out. I don't understand.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know what the point of it
where
all was.
Why it was.
It was just fun watching Travolta.
Okay, and yet, were you not entertained?
Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so did they deserve to make millions for making this movie?
Yes, they do.
Did they cure cancer in this movie?
No, and they didn't even shoot balls and hoops.
No, they didn't shoot balls and hoops. Did they teach anybody anything? No, they didn't teach anybody.
I don't know, but it was just a fun movie.
It was a fun movie.
I don't think they got paid as much as those basketball players, though. Maybe Travolta, but the other... Maybe not.
I would bet Travolta got...
Oh, Travolta got the money. He was the headliner. And Gina Gershon.
I don't know how much he would get for something like this.
I don't know.
It's just frivolous, but would he get...
And then they had the director. The director had passed.
Oh, but Ridley Scott was
involved somehow.
No, that was the producer.
Yeah, the producer. No? Somebody passed.
I thought Ridley Scott... Did he produce
Was he involved in it?
This?
I don't know. No, I don't think he... I don't know. We'd have to go back and look. Was that another movie we watched?
I know. I get them mixed up.
We watched so many. I can't remember.